From a garage in California to the most valuable company in the world, this is the story of Apple, a tale of vision, rebellion, and relentless innovation that changed not just technology, but culture itself. How did a company on the brink of bankruptcy redefine our relationship with computers, music, and phones? Let's peel back the layers of the iconic Apple logo. Our story begins in 1976. Two Steves, Steve Jobs, the charismatic visionary, and Steve Wozniak, the engineering wizard, founded Apple Computer. Their first product, the Apple I, was a humble-looking circuit board, but it was a marvel for its time. It was a personal computer that hobbyists could actually build upon. They sold their most prized possessions, a VW van and a scientific calculator, to fund their dream. Little did they know, they were planting the seeds of a revolution. Just 1 year later, in 1977, came the Apple II. This wasn't just a circuit board. It was a complete user-friendly computer in a sleek plastic case. It had color graphics and an open architecture, making it a massive hit in homes and schools. The Apple II became the first truly successful, mass-produced personal computer, catapulting Apple into the big leagues and making its founders millionaires. It was the machine that showed the world what a personal computer could be. As the 80s dawned, Apple went public in one of the most anticipated IPOs in history. But the company faced a new, formidable rival, IBM, the giant of the computing world. Apple needed something groundbreaking to stay ahead. The answer was the Macintosh. Introduced in 1984 with a now legendary Super Bowl commercial, the Macintosh was a revelation. It introduced the graphical user interface and the mouse to the masses, clicking on icons instead of typing commands. It was magic. The Macintosh declared that computers weren't just for experts, they were for everyone. For the rest of us, as the slogan went. But behind the scenes, a power struggle was brewing. The visionary, Steve Jobs, clashed with the board and the CEO he had hired, John Sculley. In 1985, in a shocking turn of events, Jobs was forced out of the very company he co-founded. It was a devastating blow, both for Jobs and for Apple. Without its guiding visionary, Apple began to lose its way. For the next decade, Apple struggled. It released a confusing array of products, lost market share to the burgeoning world of Windows PCs, and seemed to have forgotten its innovative spark. By 1997, the company was hemorrhaging money and was rumored to be just 90 days from bankruptcy. The dream seemed to be over. Apple needed a savior. And then, the unthinkable happened. Apple bought Next, the company Steve Jobs had founded after leaving, and just like that, Jobs was back. He returned as interim CEO, famously taking a salary of just $1 a year. His mission was simple: save Apple. He immediately streamlined the product line, cutting 70% of the products to focus on just a few key areas. He famously drew a simple 4-quadrant grid on a whiteboard: a desktop and a portable for consumers, and a desktop and a portable for professionals. This brutal focus was exactly what Apple needed. The comeback started in 1998 with the iMac. It was unlike any computer ever seen. It was a colorful, all-in-one machine that looked more like a piece of pop art than a piece of technology. It was beautiful, easy to use, and it put the I in Internet, making it simple for people to get online. The iMac was a smash hit, signaling to the world that Apple was back and it was thinking differently. But the iMac was just the beginning of Apple's second act. In 2001, Steve Jobs stood on a stage and pulled a tiny white device from his pocket. It was the iPod. 1,000 songs in your pocket, he said. It wasn't the first digital music player, but it was the first one that was beautiful, intuitive, and seamlessly integrated with the iTunes software. The iPod didn't just save Apple, it completely transformed the music industry and made Apple a dominant force in consumer electronics. The innovation didn't stop. In 2007, Jobs returned to the stage for what would become his most legendary keynote. Today, he announced, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. He introduced the iPhone, A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator? Three things in one device. It was a watershed moment. The iPhone's multi-touch interface, its elegant software, and the App Store that followed, created an entire new economy and changed how we live, work, and communicate forever. The decade that followed was a whirlwind of category-defining products. The App Store in 2008, the iPad in 2010, which created the modern tablet market, and the Apple Watch in 2015, which became the world's best-selling wearable. Under the leadership of Tim Cook, who took over as CEO in 2011 shortly before Jobs' passing, Apple has grown into a multi-trillion-dollar behemoth, expanding into services like Apple Music, TV Plus, and iCloud. From a garage project to a global icon, Apple's journey is more than just a business story. It's a testament to the power of design, the courage to think differently, and the belief that technology can be a force for creativity and human connection. It has taught us that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the history of Apple. What's your favorite Apple product or memory? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. See you in the next one.